trigger word. A trigger word. I'd say it to his face so much. I'd be like, yeah, come on. Try and kill me. Try and kill me. Do it. Hello, everybody. My name's JoshJrumJrastick, and today we're going to be watching another MrBallen video. Today's video is called Top 3 Photos with Disturbing Backstories Part 9. Now, I know he's come out with a newer one than this. Bear with me. I know he has. It came out like 4 hours ago. He uploads every single day, just like me, except for he just needs to change because I'm trying to catch up to him. He needs to change his content to something else right now, at least for like a couple days, so that I can catch up to his other videos and then continue to watch. But it's whatever. We're watching this. We're watching part 9. We're not watching part 10. We're watching part 9. And it's 11 minutes long. I have a little bit of water with me left. And yeah, if you don't know already, I have made a Discord. That is in the description. You can go on there. I talk a lot on there. I'm still trying to figure it all out. But if you wanna get in touch with me at all, that's gonna become probably one of the best ways to do it. Still the best way to do it is to comment on my videos, because I'm not very big. So you can comment on my videos and I'll answer almost immediately. And yeah. Anyways, guys, as always, if you enjoy this kind of content, leave a like on the video. It's much appreciated. And if you're new here, hi, I'm Josh, and this is what I do. I react to videos, and if you enjoy that kind of content, consider subscribing and sharing with your friends so that I may grow and we can all watch awesome videos together. And without further ado, let's watch a video.
Today, I'm going to share with you 3 progressively more disturbing stories.
Here we go.
At the end of each of them, I'm going to share with you the picture or video that is famously associated with them. But before I get into today's stories, if you're a fan of the strange, dark, and mysterious delivered in story format, then you've come to the right channel.
Again, story
that's all
video.
I do, and I upload
Not
3,
interested.
4, even 5 times
Got other
every
videos
week.
for you.
So if that's of interest to you, please
if you have any
like
suggestions,
flimsy plastic outdoor chair.
put them down in the comments
down,
below.
kick one of the
and I'll
legs
watch
out
that video.
Also, please subscribe to the channel and turn on all notifications so you
If
don't
there
miss
isn't any
uploads.
suggestions, I'll
Alright,
probably
let's
end
get
up
into
watching
today's
MrBallen
stories.
because he uploads every day like me, and I need everyday content. So you'll probably see a lot of reactions from me watching MrBallen. Elephant.
Following World War II, the Soviet Union began investing heavily into nuclear power, and by 1977,
Oh, are we gonna talk about the
V.I. Lenin nuclear power station located in Chernobyl, Ukraine, was finally
We're talking about
operational. The
Chernobyl.
station itself was comprised of 4 reactors that
We're
were
talking
each
about
labeled 1, 2, 3,
I know what
On
photo he's
April
talking
25th,
about.
1986,
We're talking about the photo of the elephant's foot. If you guys don't know what that is already, it's a giant, just molten, just mass of concrete and steel and radioactive material that has just melted all into this giant circular looking thing that looks like a elephant's foot. And it has been said if you go anywhere inside the room, you will die the next day, or your lifespan gets cut in like half, or something's crazy like that. I don't know. He'll probably tell us though.
A group of very sleep-deprived plant workers began running a series of routine tests on nuclear reactor number 4. They were trying to see if the reactor could still be cooled even in the event of a complete power loss. But during the test, perhaps because they were sleep-deprived and just didn't feel like doing it, they started cutting corners and violated a number of safety protocols that led to several surges of power inside
Ethics.
of the reactor. This
That's
led
why
to
you
a
teach.
chain
That's why they
reaction
teach
of
ethics in
explosions within
engineering.
reactor number 4 that culminated
Don't
in
cut
a
corners.
massive explosion that blew the lid off the building, exposing the reactor's core. It would take the Soviets 10 days to finally stop the fire that was raging inside of this exposed core, which meant for those 10 days, radiation on an unprecedented level was spewed into the environment by this fire. But even after the fire was controlled, you have all this radioactive material that needs to be properly disposed of. And So the Soviets started by using robots to go up and pick up these materials and dispose of them, but the robots were breaking down from the high levels of radiation. And so naturally the Soviets sent in groups of men to go pick up the material, and dozens of people died from radiation
So
sickness.
many.
A few months after the explosion, the first steel sarcophagus was built around reactor number 4 to try to contain some of that radiation. But even with that protection, it's estimated that the area around Chernobyl will not be habitable for another 20,000 years. So as a result, the Soviet
Way
Union
beyond my
created what they
lifetime.
call an exclusion zone, which is 19 miles all around Chernobyl that no one can go inside of.
Nope.
And so nature's kind of reclaimed this
Oh, and
area that
it's
used to be a
amazing
very
to see
bustling
the photos.
metropolis. 1 year after the disaster, Ukrainian containment crews finally broke into the steam corridor that was located underneath the molten remains of
Oh,
the
yeah,
reactor
that was
number
terrible.
4. And as soon as they stepped in, their radiation readers spiked all the way to the top.
Yep.
And so they know that whatever's at the other end of this L-shaped hallway is something they did not want to get close to. And so they put a camera on a chair with wheels, and they pushed it down the hall to where it finally broke that corner and had a clear line of sight to the other end.
Yep.
And using a timer on the camera, they were able to take a picture of one of the single most dangerous things in the entire world.
Yep.
It became known as the elephant's foot.
Oh,
it
yeah.
was a molten pile
That
of
is it.
nuclear fuel and melted metal and sand and concrete that had
Yep.
all kind of converged and seeped through a pipe meant for steam and found its way into the basement. It was and still is emitting the equivalent level of radiation of 4.5 million chest x-rays every hour. Today, if you were to stand in front of the elephant's foot without proper equipment for 30 seconds, your cells would start to hemorrhage and you would become viciously ill. And you
30
could even
seconds.
die. At
30
2
seconds.
minutes of exposure, you're definitely going to die.
You're
But
dead.
not right away. You have 48 hours and there's nothing you can do to stop it. You are 100% going to die.
Oh, is that all he's going to talk about? Dang it, man. I
On
love
October
that.
31st, 2013, 4 mechanics were performing routine maintenance on a wind turbine
Yep.
in the Netherlands. In
Yep.
the early afternoon, all 4 of them are standing
I know
on
about the
top of the
Netherlands
turbine itself,
turbines.
2 on one end and 2 on the other, and a small fire breaks out inside of the housing of the turbine, right near where you would go back into the housing. Now, it's
Yeah.
unclear what caused the fire, but it's speculated that it was caused by a short circuit. The 2
Probably.
engineers on this side of the turbine
These
were
are-
able
these
to
are very
jump
dangerous
over the fire,
machines.
land in the stairwell, and run their way down to safety. The other 2 on this side had a bad angle and could not make the jump.
Yep.
And so they had to wait until rescue workers showed up to put the fire out.
Yep.
But wind turbines are usually in areas that are very far away from society because they're huge and they're kind
huge.
of eyesores.
Yeah.
And so the response
Well, they're not.
time was not.
It's not that they're eyesores. I mean, they're relatively eyesores. Yeah, sure. You don't want to look up one day, see a giant white windmill turning, do you? I mean, I don't see them as really eyesores though. I think I see every time when I was a kid, and I was riding through Utah. I remember I would see them, and they would spin, and I would just look at them for hours because, I mean, they're so big. They're so big. And you just think, like, how in the world did they put that together? As a kid, you're just like, wow. You're just amazed by it. First time I ever went to a city, same exact feeling. It was first time I ever went to downtown Cincinnati. Was crazy. It was crazy, the feeling. It was crazy. It was crazy. I was going there for a baseball or football game or something like that. And we parked in front of this building, and all I did was just look up, and it just went on, and it was so, I'll never forget that moment. It was so cool. It was so cool. But
Not good. The fire department did not show up very quickly, and by the time they got to the wind turbine, that little fire had gotten much, much bigger and had creeped up onto the platform that they are on. And then when the fire department actually started performing their job, the fire had spread well down the stairwell, and so it was very difficult and took a very long time to make their way up using the stairs. And the crane on the truck itself did not extend high enough to reach them either. The
Oh,
two
God,
trapped
no. It
mechanics
wouldn't.
are watching this in real time. They're looking down, and they can see the fire department is not going to be able to reach us in time because the fire is now spreading and getting bigger and bigger, and they're being pushed to the very edge of this wind turbine with an 80-meter fall to the ground. As the fire inched closer and closer and closer to them, the men must have realized that they have to make a decision here. They can either sit here and wait and hope for some miracle that perhaps a helicopter shows up and scoops them up, or some other mechanism of rescue is able to occur, or they try to make a run for it through the flames on the top of the turbine into the stairwell and just hope that the fire in the stairwell is not as severe and that maybe they can run through it and make it out the other side. Or the final option is to jump off the side and hope you survive the fall.
God,
and
no.
so as the fire continued to grow and get closer and closer to them, the men embrace one last time, and then one of them makes a run for it through the flames into the stairwell. His charred body would be found right at the landing of the stairs. He did not make it very far. He really had no hope. The last remaining mechanic is standing there wondering what he should do. He's probably looking down in hopes that he's going to see his friend who just ran in there emerge at the bottom on the ground, safe. But he doesn't. And after a considerable amount of time and the fire is getting closer and closer, he knows his friend didn't make it, and probably not wanting to suffer the fate that his friend did, he jumps. This is the picture of the two mechanics embracing for that final time. I'm sure at the time of this picture, they were aware that almost certainly they were not going to get out of this alive.
Wow.
They were 19 and 21 years old.
Oh. That's all he's going to talk about for that one? I was thinking, during high school, I was thinking about becoming a cleaner for one of these things. And it's such a dangerous job, but you get paid a lot of money. You take like a 6-month class. You take a 6-month class to learn how to clean these things. And you climb up these things every day. Not every day, probably. But relatively a lot. Good workout, by the way. They recruit a lot of young people because it's very taxing on the body. It's a very labor-intensive job, obviously, because you got to climb up so high. And when he said that he was going to run down the stairwell, I was like, "Wow, that's no." And he didn't even say if he survived. Doesn't even say if he survived. There's harnesses and there's a bunch of equipment and you got to clean it. Yeah, there's a lot of training that goes into, relatively speaking, there's a lot of training that goes into it. It pays well. It's a dangerous job. It's a dangerous job. You have to love your job. And it just so happens that day, those two men, I don't know if they're deceased. I know the one is. Just it sucks. I hope the other one made it. I don't think he did though. He probably jumped.
In 2013, Philip Chisholm was a 14-year-old high school student going to school in Danvers, Massachusetts. He lived at home with his single mother. Classmates described Chisholm as being quiet, a bit of a loner. He was a great student, and he was the leading scorer of his soccer team. On October 22nd, 2013, Chisholm missed soccer practice in the afternoon and then missed a team dinner that night, at which point his teammates tried calling and texting him. He didn't get back to them, so they got in touch with his mother. She tried reaching out to him to no avail, and so she contacted the police and said, "My son is missing." On the same night that Chisholm is reported missing, one of his teachers, 24-year-old Colleen Ritzer, doesn't come home from work. Her family and her friends try reaching out to her, texting her, calling her, no response, so they too go to the police and they report her missing as well. The police were already looking for Chisholm, so when they hear one of his teachers is also missing, they assume they must be linked, and so they go to the high school, even though it's well after hours, to see if maybe there's some clues there. They search the high school, and Chisholm is not there, and neither is Miss Ritzer, but when they're looking in the girls' restroom that was right next to Miss Ritzer's classroom, they find a small splash of blood. Even though at the time they had no way of knowing if this blood was connected to Chisholm or Miss Ritzer, they decided they would pull all the security footage for the past 24 hours that was looking in the direction of this bathroom. And they make a startling discovery starting at the 2:54 p.m. mark on October 22nd, the day they went missing. This is Miss Ritzer walking down the hall towards the bathroom that had blood in it. This is Chisholm following Miss Ritzer into the hall. He's looking hesitant. He doesn't really know what he's going to do. He's thinking about following her, and at some point he says, "You know what? I am going to do this." He goes back into the classroom. reemerges with his hood on, and walks down the hall towards the bathroom where Miss Ritzer is. This is Chisholm entering the girls' bathroom with surgical gloves on. 11 minutes later, Chisholm would leave the bathroom. Miss Ritzer would still be in.
They have cameras inside the bathroom. Wait, what? Do they actually have cameras inside the bathroom? Isn't that illegal?
Inside. Chisholm would leave school property, he would run outside, he would get a big recycling bin, and then he would wheel that back into the school, and then he would go back into the bathroom with the recycling bin. At 3:21 p.m., 26 minutes after Chisholm had first entered the girls' bathroom after Miss Ritzer, he re-emerges, now wearing a full face mask. He doesn't have a sweatshirt on anymore, and he's pulling along this recycling bin that looks noticeably heavier than when he brought it in. And that's because Miss Ritzer's body is now stuffed inside of it. Police were able to locate Miss Ritzer's body using the surveillance cameras on the outside of the school. They just watched what he did with the recycling bin, and he didn't bring it very far away from the school. Police were able to quickly track Chisholm down and arrest him because as soon as he was done attacking Miss Ritzer, he used her credit card to go to a movie theater in town and watched a movie. So he's on security cameras watching the movie, and the police were tracking her credit cards because they noticed they were stolen, and they saw that he had swiped the card at this movie theater. So he gets arrested and he's given a life sentence. Here's the footage of Chisholm leaving the girls' bathroom with Miss Ritzer's body inside of that recycling bin. His motives remain unclear, but he claims she used what he called a trigger word that really upset him.
Upset him. Too bad. Too bad. You don't... This triggers me. This triggers me, but am I gonna go kill someone about it? God, no. I hope what they mean by trigger word is that this kid is mentally insane, and also that he's been diagnosed with some kind of mental disease, so that his word to turn into some kind of murderous rampage monster is a trigger word or whatever. I hope that's what they mean, and not that the fact that this kid's got his feelings hurt. That makes me mad. I just want to be like, so what if your feelings got hurt, man? It doesn't matter. You don't kill someone for it. Stupid. Stupid kid. Trigger word. I really hope he has some kind of mental disorder. And that's what they mean by trigger word. Like, I'm sorry I'm quiet. I know I've been sitting here for like 3 minutes, but I feel so sorry for the teacher. She didn't deserve that at all. At least I don't think she did. There's no way. I would never say that she ever deserved that. I don't care if she used some kind of foul language or trigger word. I don't care. She didn't deserve that at all. People People talk about cancel culture. This is kill culture. That's what this is. This is kill culture. He had to be insane. He had to be mentally not okay. I really hope he was diagnosed with something crazy because he went to the movies after. He didn't run like a normal person. He went to the movies after. That's it. It's the only thing he did. He's in jail for life now. He's a kid. I need to watch this again.
Leaving the girl's bathroom with Miss Ritzer's body inside of that recycling bin. His motives remain unclear, but he claims she used what he called a trigger word that really upset him. So that's going to do it, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's stories. Let me know in the comments what you thought, and I will pin the best comment at the top of the
Trigger word. A trigger word. I'd say it to his face so much. I'd be like, yeah, come on. Try and kill me. Try and kill me. Do it. Some things, man, you just if some things I'm just like, man, if I was there at that moment and I knew this, I would I would say that trigger word to him over and over and over and over. I'd be like, try and kill me. Do it. Try it. See what happens. Stupid kid. Idiot. Well, I'm mad. I'm gonna go. Uh, yeah. Hope I got it. Um, I'm mad. So I'm gonna end up just going and stupid. Anyways, if you guys want to talk to me about anything, I have a Discord. If you also just feel like commenting, you can comment. You don't have to join me on Discord. I don't know. I'm mad. I'm mad right now. There's nothing I can do about it. She's gone. She's gone. She's just gone. She's gone now. I hope. I know that some people can't understand how precious life is. And she's gone. I mean, she's not coming back. And she died because she said something that triggered a kid. She's just a teacher. Yeah, I don't feel good. Why was nothing to say. I have nothing to say to that. Stay strong, everyone. Stay safe. Wear your seatbelt, wear your helmet, wear your mask. Don't point the flashlight behind you. Don't look into haunted mirrors. What can you take away from this video? Be a good human being. Stop being so soft. Don't be soft. Don't be soft. If you don't understand what that means, that's fine. And as always, have a nice day.